No, they timed it right.
Yeah, all right.
Very good.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. We're going to start off with recognition.
Good timing. All right, well, good evening, welcome everybody. First off, I want to wish all of the dads, grandfathers, stepdads a belated Happy Father's Day. It didn't rain yesterday, so hopefully you got out and had some fun with your kids, your family, so appreciate you all for being here tonight. But secondly, and more importantly, I want to recognize some of our elementary school students this evening who came to Mr. Murphy and myself earlier this year, I think late fall, early winter, to propose an idea that they had to sell handmade jewelry and then to donate the proceeds to a local company. They in turn call this company Sleigh Beads. And I just want to recognize these 4 students this evening. And Mr. Murphy, if you want to just help me kind of take some pictures and kind of speak about it.
Sure. Yeah, so Sleigh Beads started, like Mr. McCormick said, right around winter time. And they decided to start a jewelry fundraiser to raise money for Second Chance Animals right near our school. So I asked them to come up with a business plan because I think we all have ideas about helping businesses, helping local businesses, helping people. And sometimes those just don't get off the ground. Time gets in the way, life gets in the way, but these young students really stuck to it. They came up with a great business plan, created inventory, created petty cash. They got signs up. I helped them with a little bit on PowerPoint and other things, but it was all their ideas. And all of a sudden at lunches, they started to sell some like costume jewelry and some homemade jewelry. After a while, it grew and grew and grew, and then we were lucky enough to walk down to Second Chance Animals and give them a good amount of cash, so $230, which is fantastic, just through selling at lunch. And they did not, it wasn't a free-for-all, it wasn't anything, it was organized. Kids went in there, if they didn't have money that day, they had a little, you can look in here section, and then you do this, and then over here, and it just really was well run, and it was well run by the students. And it was just a great job by 4th grade students. So I would love to recognize our students who came today, our Sleigh Bead representatives. So we have Carly, Olivia, and Brooke. Carly, Olivia, and Brooke. Come on down.
Come on down, guys.
So when you
Who wants to go
over to
first?
Mr. McCormick, and then I'll take some pictures. First. Awesome, good.
Congratulations. You guys just hang tight right there. We'll do a good picture. Harley.
We are missing Tristan tonight. Tristan cannot make it, but Tristan's singing. Nice. Very cool. Now Olivia.
And Olivia. Congratulations.
Nice job, Olivia. All right, why don't all 3 of you go down there together?
Picture. Oh. Do
Mr.
that.
Murphy, you want me to take a picture with the
Oh, that's
audience?
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sleigh Beads on 3. 1, 2, 3. Sleigh Beads.
Thank you, Mr. Mario.
Thank you so much, Russ. Thank you. Thank you. Can't wait to see what they come up with next year for their business plan. Very excited.
So I just want to also add too, I'm also a customer. I've had these beads since January, I think. It's been a while, and I wear these every day. So, girls, congratulations, great job, and I love to see you giving back to the community. So, really proud of all 3 of you, all 4 of you. So, thank you very much. That's it for recognition this evening.
Fantastic.
I don't know how we could top that.
Yeah, that's
Meeting adjourned.
the highlight.
And you guys, just so you know, you don't need to stay. You can gladly leave. Appreciate you guys coming.
Thank you so much for coming.
Come on.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
You don't want to stay?
Great job.
You will miss my juggling later.
I will say I've coached all 3 of the girls that were here tonight in soccer. That doesn't surprise me a bit. They're all great kids, so nice job.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, guys. Thank you. Good job. Guys.
How are you gonna top that?
Now we're back to a regular audience.
You get audience.
All right, approval of minutes. Is everyone,
I move to approve the minutes for Monday, May 19th, 2025.
I second that.
any, discussion or comments?
Nope.
No,
All good?
pretty good, it's a long meeting, so,
It should be called the hours then, right?
yeah.
That's a nice dad joke.
All right, all in favor of approving the minutes as recorded? Aye. Thank you. Public participation.
Dante, you got
Dante, you
anything?
got anything? No. Communications. I don't believe there's anything there. Student representative report. Noah.
Past information, class elections. Class elections were held on the week of May 27th for rising 7th through 12th graders, and rising 6th graders will have their elections in the fall. Class Day Field Day. Class Day Field Day was held on May 30th. Students started the day in classes and transitioned to the elementary school for Class Day ceremony, and then they headed into Field Day. Junior Conference. On Tuesday, June 3rd, we held our Junior Conference event. This event was for 5th graders to give them an opportunity to learn about our school and student council. Lock-in. Lock-in was held on Friday, June 6th into Saturday, June 7th. This event was for student council members only. Only where we stayed in the school overnight and got locked inside overnight. We participated in workshops and ran team building activities throughout the night. Then we got to have free time. Last day of school. On the last day of school, Hanson family and student council worked together to make milkshakes or non-dairy slushies for students at the end of the year send-off. That was upcoming information. Social media. We invite all community members to follow our social media accounts and keep up with all NBHS Student Council activities and events. Our accounts are Instagram at NBStuco, Facebook at NBStuco, and TikTok at NB_Stuco. Student Council meetings. All meetings are open to the school and community. Meetings are typically every other Monday in the high school kiva starting at 6 p.m. and running until 7:30 p.m. Please feel free to join us if you have anything you would like to discuss or would just like to see how things are run.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Noah?
Yeah, Noah, do you get a better public turnout at your student council meetings than we do here? No. But again, what time are they again? Just
6 p.m.
6
Usually
p.m.
every other Monday.
every other Monday? So are you guys off for the summer?
Yeah, our last meeting was at the lock-in event.
Okay, so when will the first one kick off again for the new school year? After the school year starts, or is it like a week before or whatever?
After the year starts.
Okay.
Usually a week or two into the school year.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's a couple meetings in the Monday, a couple Mondays in the school year, and then we do a couple over meetings, to allow students to come in, see if they want to sign up, and then we have our big, that's there, where they can really enhance it.
So we'll be sure to emphasize that at the first school, because we have, I think, July off, but then August we're back. So if we have a date by then, we'll really push that.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to school committee reports, we have a tuition task force update.
I'll let Dan do it.
All right.
Don't. Yeah, so we've had 3 meetings. I sent you guys an email just with a quick recap too. I'll just restate that. I don't have a big presentation plan today because there really hasn't been too much. The first 2 meetings, we met with all the interested parties who wanted to be part of the task force, talked through the expectations. So we developed a team of 8 plus Dan and I, so 10 total that are on the task force. We had our first real meeting this past Wednesday. Mr. Duff from Quabog came, gave his presentation that's been presented in town before. This way here we had it all presented to us at the school board. We got the slide, there was a slideshow, PowerPoint, which I passed on to you guys as well to take a look at. So now that was kind of the jumping off point because that's how this conversation got started, really. So next week, we plan on kind of making a roadmap of where we're gonna go from here with the study and contacting anybody else and developing questions on information that we want to look at and kind of setting ahead from there. So the only thing from the whole committee that I wanted to kind of come back and get from you guys was if we have any sort of timeline. Just from my research, it's kind of like it's supposed to be the body that's delegating the task force gives some sort of timeline to us. That could probably be fluid. I mean, if we're giving updates monthly, but you know, I don't know if we have anything in mind that you want to, that we all want to see it done by, or if we want to wait until a couple meetings go past and then talk about a deadline again, or a time frame.
I think, well, for me, I think it's more important about getting the information about
Yep.
what does it actually entail for the town?
Yep.
Are there other opportunities other than Quabog?
Yep.
Has that been the main focus of late? As far as timeline goes, that kind of falls into what the deadline would be expected from the state for any kind of process to move forward. But I don't know that we're going to meet that. So, I mean, I think it's more important to get the information first and then be able to make a, clear-headed decision.
Yep. And I would agree with that. I just wanted to make sure that I passed on any questions that we had talked about. And that was one of the things that came up was a time frame of the study. So I just wanted to make sure. And my response kind of is that if we're giving monthly updates or updates, we can, that's why I said it's kind of a fluid.
Right.
Because I wouldn't want to, cut the information gathering short or extend it if we don't need to. Like if we have the information we need to come back and present to you guys, then we all talk about it. That time is when that time happens, and vice versa,
Right.
So I am in agreement with that. I just wanted to make sure that we talked about it, so.
That's my thoughts on it. I
Of
don't want to
the,
speak for anyone else.
Of the 8 people that have joined the task force that are not school committee, what does the representation look like for like parents,
Yep.
former students, current students, et
Yeah, I can
cetera?
give you the
Just
list, yeah.
Curious.
Yeah.
Just in case there's any like that are not represented, we could still try to seek a few more interested parties.
Let's see. Just gonna find my last email. Sorry, I got lots of emails. All right, so we have obviously Dan, myself, George, as a school custodian. He wanted to be on it. Damien, Surratt, English teacher. Maggie Woodward, she's a mother of a couple of students in elementary, K through 6, or K through 5, I should say. And she also has a good background. She works for a nonprofit and does a lot of budgeting with like really big budgets, so she has some budgeting experience. The town accountant's on there, Sheila LeBlanc, Mary Beth Kolarski, who also has experience working in the front office in the school, and she works for the town now as well. Deb Arnold, who was on the school board back in the late 90s, early 2000s. She has a couple of children that have graduated through the system. Her husband, Bruce Arnold, he came just to tag along at first and then decided he wanted to be involved. So he's in it. And then Tanya Matthews, who was recently on the school board. And I think that's it. Did I do 8? I think that was it.
I think that was it.
Yep.
No students came for the first meeting though, right?
The first 2 meetings were open to
Okay.
anybody interested. No students came.
Okay, I'd love to see us be able to pull in a couple. You volunteering?
I know for that first one, I was not able to be there. I was trying to run a fundraiser actually downstairs. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen. Are you guys still?
It was the following week. I mean, nobody reached out to me. Nobody reached out to any of us. So, say that again?
Are you looking for any student participation?
I don't know that we are or we aren't, to be honest with you. I mean, I think we have a lot. I mean, I guess my question would be, I guess I'll answer your question with a question. And I'm not against it, but what would be the current student role in a task force like that? What do you think it would add? And I'm not saying you're right or wrong, it's just,
I mean, I definitely feel we can help August do the research, but I feel it will also give nice, just point of view. Just like if we're hearing things, like we might see some things about a school online or something like that. We also might have people that are in school, that this setup might be different or things like that, and I think that could definitely help from the student point of view.
I think it'd be important to have one or two students be involved, just for perspective, absolutely.
Because if we're investigating the possibility of tuitioning them someplace else, I'd love to know what the students
yeah, the ones that are
want
staying
to
here.
see
Yeah.
if it were to happen. Like, the questions that they might come up with would be a different lens.
Yeah,
than
yeah, and
the
I'm not, like I said, I'm not against it,
questions.
nobody reached out or nobody came, so I
Yeah.
can't like
I
force
just wonder if,
people.
like, busy time, if we could do a little more, like, asking, pushing to get a couple.
Yeah, I'm open to suggestions on how you want to get kids here, but I mean, I don't know.
It's done in a proper meeting format, so even if kids, students in the school want to
Yeah, you
attend the
can come.
meeting, they can contribute
Right.
during that public participation time, if they have things they want to bring to the meeting, and maybe not commit to the whole process, but commit to providing some sort of information or something.
Because
you guys
that
can-
is the other part of it, like if we're meeting often, I mean, I'm fine if you want to come, but it could be like, you know, a meeting that's 7 to 9 at night on a school night next fall, so like, just keep that in mind, I mean, but like Tim made a great point, we have open participation, public comment at all the meetings, and if there's a student there, I can tell you that we'll run the meeting, if the student has questions that's not during public comment, we're gonna let them ask questions, you know, so. But by all means, if you
Right,
think
because it
if you
would be
think you
very
have some
hard
students
for
that.
a couple of them to
Right.
like commit when they get, some of them get
Totally
very
understand.
busy in the fall, they
Right.
have a lot of things going on,
Right.
but I
And-
just think their voice, their lens might be helpful.
I don't disagree at all. I mean, if they want to come, by all
Yeah.
means, we can get them on the task force if they want to be a full member. I just know, like, with even the teacher that's on it, he was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come to all the meetings in the
Every
summer.
meeting, right.
It's
Yeah.
his off time, so he's like,
Yeah.
you know, so he said he wants to, but, you know, he'll do his best. So I don't think we're ever going to find a group of, 7 to 10 people that can
for
commit to all the meetings, Like, right now is my extremely busy time of work, and I'm making the time, so I mean, you have to be invested in it, and
Yeah.
if people want to do it, that's great. But if they want to just come and be able to participate in a particular meeting, they can do that too, so there's those options, definitely. We didn't really get a chance to talk about that at the last meeting, which is probably what we should have done before we should have come out with a better, guideline of what the subcommittee was doing probably, and the point of it, but we just kind of started it, so. But,
No, I mean, I think
mean, we're already having
that
great.
level of interest is great, that there
Yeah,
already is that.
we're
many people
we're having
involved.
great conversations in these meetings. I mean, we haven't really, the agenda's been very limited, but just outside of that, we've had great conversations. I mean, the second meeting is all open to the public, so I can tell, Mr. Surratt and Mr. Rigney were there, and they basically, it was very interesting. And I knew it would be interesting having teachers on it, but, Mr. Surratt claimed that this is all because Ralph Kay used to work at Quabog, and so he's like, he was asking the superintendent, did Ralph Kay used to work there? And like, he didn't, so he got that wrong, so I turned around to him and said, he was basing it off a rumor, and I'm like, these meetings aren't for like gotcha moments, they're just actually to get information, And I felt like, hey, if I'm gonna be dedicating all this time to this, I don't want this to be a thing where it's like raising my hand, because I know Ralph's been coming to meetings and doing the same thing here, so I'm not gonna waste my time doing that, so I kind of told him, like, if you want to come here to do that, that's fine, but like, we're not gonna, it just makes you look bad as a teacher, I think, the things that they were getting at. He started asking about MCAS scores, Rigney did, and like, it's a can of worms that I don't know if you, like, it baffled me, let's just say that. Like, their professionalism wasn't in the best moment, so.
Can we go back to the timeline thing? One of the things that I'm looking at was this past spring, as
Yeah.
we had this conversation. Part of it was too late. It felt too late to have families plan for things
Yeah.
and do that stuff. So I think while the timeline is still kind of a gray area because you've just started,
Yeah.
I think we need to look kind of at the end of the calendar year. As we're getting into budget season, we need to know what direction we're headed and how that impacts budgets for the schools, parents, giving parents time to make a decision, you know, stuff like that.
That's a great point.
I think that's just something to keep in mind. I feel like it maybe at the next school committee meeting, we can pin that down a little bit more.
Yeah,
After you've had
and
some
I'll
more
have,
time.
we'll have more conversations too by then with dates and things
Right,
like that.
and I think that's just something to keep an eye on, because
Yeah.
we don't want to make a decision late.
I agree, and that's the one thing I said in all three of the meetings we've had so far, is like, that's the reason why we're doing this study, is so that it's a thoughtful process, and it's not like, hey, let's do something in the next month and rush it, so that in 10 years, we're like, why did we just rush that? So I've said the same thing, that's why I was asking about a general timeline, more to do with that, but I mean, we'll get the dates and things like that, and then I guess in August, when we come back for our next meeting, we can kind of talk more about it. But, yeah, I mean, just in general, I mean, there's a lot to go over, there's a lot to talk about, you know, so.
If you guys need help from us too,
Yeah.
you can feel
Yep.
free to reach out. We can divide and conquer a little bit if we have to, so.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
We have, up next is financial reports, included in the packet, the latest, line items. Any questions on the attached financials?
I wasn't involved in the last batch of warrants. Are we doing any transfers and stuff to
Not
balance?
this meeting, no.
Not this meeting? Okay.
So regarding voiced concerns, but town accountant, have those things been addressed?
Yes, they have. And I know Ms. Graham was hoping to be able to attend tonight if there were any questions, and she and we are confident that those will be rectified. We're continuing to draw down all the remaining grant funds that we have. For FY25, there was some carryover from FY24, plus some of the small rural grants that we need to draw down as well. So we're confident we're in a very good spot. One of the things that Ms. Graham and I have talked about, and she's done a tremendous job of working through it, is that some of the confusion was that things were not put into Tyler Technologies appropriately to begin FY25. So FY26, those budget line items will be accurate in the appropriate line items to start the fiscal year. So I'm excited about that. She's excited about that. So we'll give people a clear picture if there's any confusion about where we're at for our general fund and also our grant expenditures as well.
Great. Any other questions or comments? All right, so superintendent's report.
All right, so I know that both Mr. Murphy and Mr. Durham may mention some of these activities, but it cannot be understated that June is the busiest time of the year in a school district. I used to think it was just the high school, but it's both schools. I'll give you a perfect example. Today we had our grade 5, if you will, goodbye ceremony. We had our kindergarten ceremony this morning. We had a pre-K ceremony last week, and obviously we had graduation and all the senior activities a few weeks ago. So it is a whirlwind of activities, I think deservedly so for our students and their families. But from the very end of May until the last day of school, there is stuff going on to celebrate our students, their families. So it's a pretty busy and hectic month. We had 8th grade step up last Friday. We had our Student of the Month awards as well last week for our high school students. So just a lot going on, and I want to just commend Mr. Murphy and Mr. Diorio for emceeing most of it. It's a lot of extra time that they have to put into making sure it's organized and it runs smoothly. So thank you to both of you. I've enjoyed all the ceremonies I've been to. I think all of them. But graduation this year was, I think, went off without hitch. It was fantastic. So again, thank you very much to both of you guys for your great work. And I just want to, just a very quick, but I think deserved, I want to give Mr. Diorio a big thank you for his tenure here at North Brookfield Junior Senior High School. He has led our junior senior high school with, I can't say this enough, he was the right person for the position. He led by example, he motivated our staff, he motivated our students, and he moved our school forward. So I want to thank Mr. Diorio for all his efforts these last couple of years and wish him the best of luck with all his endeavors in the future. So thank you, Mr. Diorio.
Questions or comments for Mr. McCormick?
I'll be the one to ask. So with the departures and stuff, you guys are already underway in filling those?
Yes,
and all
so
that?
I'll give you.
I think I've heard some of them already were kind of in the works as far as being filled.
Yes, they are. We've been having interviews kind of every day. We have multiple interviews tomorrow. We have an interview for a high school math teacher tomorrow. We have our 2 special ed director finalist interviews tomorrow afternoon. We were able to hire high school adjustment counselor who is replacing Miss Margolis, who's leaving the district. We did bring on Miss Pizarro as our full-time school counselor for next year, so those positions have been filled. And everything else that we listed as departures, we are in the process. We interviewed and offered the position to a grade 5 teacher. I'm just waiting to hear back from that person as well. So well underway, and we have principal interviews Tuesday, June 24th from 11 until 5. We have a committee of teachers, and we're reaching out to some students if they want to be interested in that as well. But we have right now 5 applicants who will be interviewing for that position, for the high school position. Thank you for asking.
All right. Administrators' reports? Who wants to go first?
All right, I guess I'll go first. So this has been a busy couple of weeks at our high school. As Mr. McCormick and Noah mentioned a little bit, our seniors finished the year with awards night on May 29th, where over $400,000 was given out in scholarships. Friday was our senior banquet at Hartman's Herb Farm, and Sunday, June 1st, was our graduation. As Mr. McCormick said, all events, Mr. McCormick came to all of those as well. Fantastic job. The kids were great. So congratulations to the class of 2025. Last week, the last week of May, our students completed the civics MCAS in 8th grade. Our middle school conducted the final round of MAP testing for the year. MAP testing gives us a good indication of students' academic growth in reading and math throughout the year. We do that 3 times a year, and that'll be used as we go into the new school year to place our kids with supports and enrichment as well. June 11th was our high school awards ceremony. Great turnout from the families who saw over 100 awards given to students. And then our middle school awards were on Friday, June 13th. Again, another fantastic turnout from all the families. It was great to see so many families there for the middle school awards. High school finals were June 12th through the 16th for all students. The makeups for the finals will be tomorrow, June 17th. And then finally, I'd like to thank the school committee and Mr. McCormick for all their support this year, and give a special shout out to incredible families and students this year. It was really a great year. So thank you to everybody for your support in the school. It's very appreciated, I can tell you that.
Thank you, and I want to say it's been a pleasure personally and professionally to work with you since you've been here at the school, and I want to thank you for your hard work and dedication. And it really shows through with, seeing the students and faculty and working with you. And just want to say thank you for your time with us.
Thank you. It was an honor to be here. I can honestly say this. Thank you very much.
Any other questions or comments for Mr. Diorio? Thank you, Mr. Diorio.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes, as Mr. McCormick said, we've been very busy, so kind of pared it down to 4 things on my report, but this could have been a book with all the things going on at the elementary school. First, the senior citizen breakfast. I wanted to put this in here just as a community outreach. So through the help of Karen Farrington, we hosted our 2nd senior citizen breakfast. Former stars of the month, so that's like our student of the months, were nominated to be the wait staff, and Mr. McCormick and I worked the griddle and expedited the orders. We were on the hot plate. It was great. Our stars of the month had little ordering forms with a name at the top, so it would go over to the seniors, ask them their name, and then ask what they wanted and checked it off, whether it was bacon sausage, whether it was coffee, water, how many pancakes they would want. So it kind of taught them those people skills and to go up to people, and they did a phenomenal job. We served 9 senior citizens last month, and this time we did close to 24, which is great. And there was a lot of seconds that went out too, which is great too. So no one left hungry. We had pancakes, fresh fruit, sausage, water, coffee. We even added some bacon this time. I think each time we'll add something to based on some reflections that we had, and just keep making it better and better each time. So it was really a great event, and everyone there did a phenomenal job. Next, I just want to talk about Field Day, another huge success. We had to make some adjustments due to Mother Nature, so we're expecting some heavy rain that day, which was kind of worrisome. So instead of having 3 groups go out, we had to have 2 larger groups go out, but that did not stop any of the fun from being had. Students played kickball, tug of war, there was a hula hoop, rock, paper, scissors station, obstacle course with a bouncy house, rub-on tattoos, and several more stations, too many to list. We had great tunes provided all day by DJ Riondo. Thank you so much for doing that. And thank you so much for our PTO and Heather Lucier, who's a paraprofessional at the school, for all their hard work putting it together. And the students were looking forward to it and had an amazing day. And literally right after dismissal, the skies opened up. So we got it in. We beat Mother Nature, even though she is undefeated, but we got one in, which was nice. Sleigh beads, which we already talked about. So, once again, Tristan, Brooke, Olivia, and Carly, great job. They just put something of an idea together and then raise that much money through just lunches was amazing. Going out, getting the inventory of the jewelry, really doing a phenomenal job of organization and professionalism for 4th graders. It was an amazing thing they did. So they did an amazing job, and again, we have them in the building again next year, so I can't wait to see what they come up with. So very exciting. And last but not least on here, I did put the MCAS raffle. So like Mr. Diorio said, MCAS ended at the end of May. This year we decided to put something forth to celebrate all the hard work done by all of our students on MCAS and give them just a little bit more motivation to really put forth that hard work on the test. So we raffled off 9 items. Students get to choose which one they put their tickets towards, as you can see in the picture. I know everyone can't see the picture, but those little buckets that they could put their tickets in for whatever prize they wanted. And we raffled it off right there. And then at the end, anyone who did not get one of those prizes, we had little squishy stars, kind of our thing. So we have stars in the month, and we have our star PBIS program, and also a little thing of slime. People love slime. So we did that, and we look forward to continuing this tradition next year and making it bigger and better. So it was really well done from the teachers to organize all the tickets. It was literally just based on following the state guidelines for what to do during MCAS, the time of the test that you're supposed to work on it, using scrap paper, and the last thing was post-test expectations. So when the time is when you hand in your test and it's done, how are you sitting at your desk quietly, reading something quietly? So you got a ticket for that each test. And it really went well. So we're looking forward to that again next year.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Mr. Murphy? Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, I do have one question.
Sure.
Did you advertise the bacon in advance?
Nope, did not. We're going through the grocery store. I did the grocery shopping, saw the bacon on sale, light bulb moment, and the seniors very much enjoyed it. So that was good. Thick cut.
More than doubling the number of people, I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah, I know.
think,
Wait till word gets out on the
Get
street
up,
about the
exactly.
bacon. They're like 60-something next
Yeah,
time.
very excited. And again, through reflections, first time we didn't have sugar-free syrup and things like that. So it's just little things that you don't think about the first time, make it better the second time.
Great. Let's see. We will start
Thank you.
the technology update. MCAS has been completed. All students supplied Chromebooks and supported throughout. One wireless access point was replaced. This is a note because it was purchased at less than a third of the cost of replacement from the usual vendor. This is able to broadcast using a faster and more modern wireless networking standard. Using the new server that has been set up in the head room, Zach was able to spin up an entirely new service for the district ticketing system. This will not go into effect until the start of the next school year, but this will be available for all to request service from either myself or from building maintenance. This will help ensure that requests are handled in a timely manner and will also provide a way to track progress on the requests. The cost associated with an externally provided ticketing system is close to $20,000 per year. And the service he's installed is called Redmine. So instead of going to an outside vendor, he's able to do it himself. Printer supplies have been ordered, organized, and properly tracked, and professional development events have been created, assigned, and approved for the current year. That's pretty cool. Then we have an update from Mr. Heavey on the buildings and grounds. Continued work with Snyder on software upgrades for the HVAC. On Wednesday, May 28th, the high school had a fire alarm go off at approximately 1:30 p.m. This was due to a dirty smoke detector. All students and staff evacuated safely. Fire department was called and defective smoke detectors identified and replaced. All systems were reset to normal and students and staff were allowed back into the building. And he's attached a list of excess surplus, old books for science and math, along with various equipment that teachers do not want. And he's looking for our approval to declare them as surplus so they can be removed. And he's attached a few pages. Looks like,
It's a science and math.
yeah.
It's mostly dated textbooks and some old equipment that we have not been using. It's either out of date, broken, it's been sitting in a closet for years, so we're trying to get some space back. And we don't typically use textbooks that frequently anymore. It's either all online, it's a high quality instructional material, or it's developed internally. So, there may be a rare occasion, but to have a whole set of a science textbook from the 90s is not really something I'm going to dig into every day.
I will make a motion that we approve declaring this list as shown here as surplus.
Second?
Now, that being said, is there a place that takes this stuff that, I don't know if any of this is useful to people that might homeschool or maybe other schools that could be in worse financial situation than we are, something like that, where, I don't know if there's some sort of central place where this sort of stuff can
Yeah,
go.
I think we could, if we could investigate, I know maybe this district has done in the past, but other districts have had kind of a surplus yard sale, if you will. We could do an event like that. I just want to do something fairly quickly so we don't keep this in the in the
Oh,
building
yeah.
for the 6 months.
Yeah,
I could definitely reach out to even
I'm
Val,
not even
to-
thinking, I'm not even thinking sale, I'm thinking just a
Right.
giveaway.
Giveaway.
And then there's either A, less stuff to dispose of after the fact,
Correct.
or B, we send it to someone that could use it, potentially. I don't know how dated some of these are, but, I mean.
I think that's the tricky part, is like when the new editions come out and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I tried to resell some old college textbooks from 15 or 20 years ago on Amazon, and some of them are worth like $1,
Yeah, but
most
you
of them
can't
are worth
sell a
nothing.
college textbook the next year.
I know, that's what I'm saying, right. So I would expect that there's not a lot of, there may be districts out there that need them, but I would suspect that they,
Or homeschool.
or even like, or even if there's like a program out there that takes them and repurposes them for some, I don't know how you can recycle them differently than,
Yeah.
yeah, there might be something out there, but I think a lot of that stuff, sometimes it's like, after a while, it's actually like a problem that gets hard to get rid of, which might be the case, other than the recycle.
I mean, even if it comes down to it, it's just being ensured that they're being recycled properly.
Exactly, right, that's what, yeah.
We're not just throwing them in purple bags and taking them down to the dump there.
Yeah.
Which I could do if you need, I have a truck, but let's try to get rid of them
Yeah, we
recycled
could-
first.
We'll do that, yeah.
I mean, like some of that, the lab equipment, if it's not busted, like, some of the, looks like glassware and things.
I'm assuming the Petri dish containers are clean.
Have an autoclave.
I don't know, just a thought, I'm good with them being surplus, I just wanna make sure we don't.
Yeah, I can report back to the committee with exactly how they were surplus and if anything was given away. I can definitely-
Okay, thank you. I
Because
appreciate
they won't
that.
be, we won't toss them tomorrow, so we have some time to look at our
And
options.
I'm not gonna micromanage the process.
No, I didn't think you were.
Tim's gonna be asking about this every month for the next year.
You never know.
I'll be sending you daily emails on the progress of
What happened to those textbooks?
the plastic baskets, of which there are 6.
And the Petri dishes.
Yep.
I think that's a voting, I don't know if we voted on that.
Yeah,
We've moved and seconded.
we're skipping, just for the record, we're skipping, old business and policy as there are no topics for that.
I do have one question on policy.
Oh, sure.
Because I was actually approached on my way in by somebody who asked me a
Well,
question.
we can, agree to circle back to that, since this is.
We have to
in the-
vote on this.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
in
On
the,
the table.
this is in the, administrator's report,
Yep.
so,
Sorry, jumping on
So it's
making a
okay.
motion.
I seconded it, so we're already,
yeah, it's fine.
so we're voting?
Yeah, all in favor of declaring, these items as listed as surplus? Aye. Great. All right, so no old business, and since you said we have something to discuss as far as
One of the custodians stopped me on the way in and asked who was on the policy, subcommittee, and I said, I don't know, because I wasn't here for the last couple of years, and I know we talked about not redoing anything because of ongoing, contract negotiations for the negotiation team, so I told him I'd find out who's currently on the subcommittee for policy. He was concerned about, building usage. He didn't give me particulars, he just said he wanted to know, so.
As always, any concerns can be sent to the school, to the committee in general.
Yep.
And, we can filter them to the proper people. But, I would imagine that, once negotiations are wrapped up, again, feel free to reach out to me, let me know what committees you're interested in serving on, or you'll be voluntold.
I just didn't remember how we left it last time, so.
Yeah,
So we're just gonna wait until negotiations are wrapped up and then reorganize the
I mean,
subcommittees?
really, there really aren't any pressing issues.
Yeah, that's fine with me, by all means, I'm
I'm
just,
also fine with, if Matt and Dan are on the task.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
force
volunteer for me something
on a
else.
regular basis, maybe between the 3 of us, we can handle the other committee
Yeah,
duties.
it's a little
Because really,
more
they're
of a
kind of an
commitment.
as-needed basis, and,
Yeah.
I think between the 3 of us, we can sort that out, and let them focus their efforts on that aspect of things. If you're in agreement with that, if you
That
guys
makes
are
sense.
good with that.
Makes sense.
So, we will establish a.
Sounds good.
we will establish-
yeah, we don't have another meeting till August. so-
Yeah, but between the 3 of us, we can, pick out who's gonna represent and reach out ahead of time prior. We're not gonna wait till August. We
I
can
gotcha.
sort that out.
Yeah.
So I'm just suggesting that right now, we take it off of you and Dan's plate, and the three of us.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Will handle any
Yeah.
committees as they come up, even if it's based on who's available at that time to handle that particular course of action.
That makes sense.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Evaluation?
Yeah. The other item of new business, which isn't on here, is the superintendent evaluation. So, as a committee, we are supposed to evaluate the superintendent, and based on the goals that were set for the year, and we're obligated to undertake that before the end of the month. That's my understanding. But seeing as we're very close to that, we want to acknowledge that process needs to start, and given the way things have been hectic with the committee as is, you're not forgotten. So
It's okay.
we want to acknowledge that we'll be starting that process, and
I can get the committee, possibly even by tomorrow. I had 5 goals for this school year, my evidence for the 5 goals. And then if people have additional questions or want more evidence that I don't submit, I can gladly send that to you. It's pretty much complete now. I just want to put together a narrative to explain what's in there. Try to streamline it for the committee to look at. But again, if there's any questions or you want more information on a particular goal or topic, I can get that for you.
great.
So what we've done, our thoughts on that, we'll each kind of fill out the evaluation form. If you can send them to John, we can, since we're on the negotiations committee, we can kind of compile them. If there's any discrepancies in numbers, we can reach out and avoid kind of like an open meeting conflict. We can discuss with you just to get more info, get information from Mr. McCormick if there's any other problems, and present that. John can distribute the final draft to everyone, and then we can go over it with him. And then publicly, we can go over it at the next meeting. But we do owe him per contract.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, I think too,
that
with
ahead of time.
like myself being new, as I've only been on the board a month,
Yeah.
same thing with Kristen. I mean, some of it we might just look at and say, hey, I don't have enough to.
But that's also a useful perspective, because
No, I
you're
understand,
not
but I'm
in
just
here,
saying.
And you're coming at it from both the outside and the inside at the same time.
Right.
So that's important that everyone on the committee has a chance to evaluate and put their
Yeah.
comments.
And I appreciate you giving us a voice and everything. I just meant that, you three have been here for, well, Dan, for more of a time period, so I'm sure you'll have more input than we might, but I'll put in there what I know, based on the goals.
Great. All right.
Thank you for your patience on that.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
I believe that's it for new business. We do not have an executive session, and I believe that's it for this evening. Just, it's about 48 minutes.
I will move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor of adjourning?
Do we have any discussion about adjourning?
Just
How shall we adjourn?
quick reminder, our last day of school is this Wednesday. It's a half day.
All right. Congratulations, kids, you made it.
Yep.
You made it.
The year now.
Good luck in all your endeavors, all you kids out there if you're watching.
I'm sure they are. This is huge on YouTube.
Yeah, massive account of YouTube on YouTube.
You gotta cut this up, put it on TikTok for us.
Big in the 15 to 17 age group.
He's not allowed to have TikTok.
Yeah, my daughter's not either, so. You're not alone.